Hello everyone. I have invested in some Tiffany pieces and I have been blessed by gifts through Tiffany's, and I'm sure most of you are very familiar with this famous blue that is just so fun to get in that package. And the purpose of this video is simply to go over things that would have been helpful to me before purchasing or before requesting a gift or something of that nature. And so I wanted to go over those, just a little bit of helpful information and how I store it, because I've had to learn this like over the years instead of in a quick video. Anyway, but typically when you get a purchase, it comes in a beautiful bag as you're seeing here, and then it comes in a box, as I'll show you in a moment, and then the infamous pouch, which the pouches are very necessary to keep if you want to be able to preserve the pieces as long as possible and keep them from tarnishing. As you can see from my small collection, they're sterling silver, and I'm focusing on this one here first. This was my very first piece. This is the one you see a lot, the Return to Tiffany's. It seems to be timeless. It seems to be something pretty age appropriate for most age groups. The measurement on this that would have been helpful to know is it's 15.5 inches around the neck, and that's pretty tight on some people. So an extender is necessary if you just feel, I use the word claustrophobic, that's not the right word, but if you just feel like it's tight and bothersome around your neck. But I'm an average sized person, and I find that that measurement does not bother me at all. And when I'm dressed very casual in a t-shirt, I'm gonna go just get groceries or something, I love to wear this. It's very casual, but it picks up an outfit very well. It's very recognizable. And also when my daughter does track meets, for some reason I always like to wear this. I don't know, she does well, but I'm sure that's not the reason why. Another piece I wanted to go through, just to stick with that theme, I'm going to come over here and focus on this one. This was the round toggle. I love the chains. That's why I get a lot of, you'll see several of those. But I like the round piece. And it seems like it's hard to pick up here. There it is. There's that return. Let me see. I knew this would be crazy. I'm so sorry. It looks like it might be picking up now. Just the Tiffany and Company. And some people get them engraved. I didn't, but I love the round medallion just hanging off. And I also find you can put a couple pieces together like here around your wrist, and that works well also. And then the final piece I have that's of the chain are the toggles. And this is probably my favorite of all the toggles. I think they're wonderful. And the toggle bracelet, which is the easiest to put on or off. So if somebody is having trouble, let's say with fine motor skills, and even an older person or something like that, I'm just qualified. I'm having a hard time here, but I'm able to do that easily with one hand. But it's easy to put on, and it's very beautiful, and I love the little piece here. The one thing I did differently is I had, maybe it'll show up better if it's on that Tiffany blue there, is I asked for a different, instead of it in the silver engraving or just on the silver, I asked for the blue enamel, because I love that shade of blue. It's my favorite color, and I thought it was just something fun and something to make it a little bit original. And then the necklace is just not a problem at all to get on and off, and gosh, I want to say it hangs, I believe it's 16 inches. And then I want to talk about that length for just a moment. On this piece here, and this would be my all-time favorite, Tiffany, this was the key, and I love this piece, and it's about 2 inches long. This is the Trefoil, Trefoil, and it's on a 16-inch length chain. I find that is the best length to go with anything. It layers well with other pieces, and it's nice. It fits on the neckline very well. And then the crown, and I guess apparently just when I was trying to look for videos on Tiffany's, it was kind of some talk about this was a really popular piece for people doing videos. But this is the Crown Royal, and I love the chain on this. but you can't see it in this. It's the beaded chain. I just have a personal preference for that. But the 18-inch is nice for layering, but it really kind of goes right down to your cleavage, so it's a little bit hard to layer sometimes. And then the last key that I have is in the bone china. And this particular one I've had really good luck with. It's on a 30-inch rope, and it's just a real casual piece. I wear a lot of black and white and browns and grays, so that seems to go. It's a fun piece, and again, you can layer it up with other keys also. And I had it in the tray fold, and it actually broke on me twice, so I don't know why that one is such bad luck, but this oval shape here has been such good luck. Then a new piece is this lock here with a key, and I've left it on this chain for a reason, because the guy that helped me at Dallas Galleria Mall is his name is Caesar, and he was just fabulous. So if you're ever in there and need help, ask for him. He's great. He spent a lot of time with me and really patient with all my questions, and cleaned some jewelry for me, and it was just really nice. A nice time in there. But he suggested this like it's like a 20-inch chain, and I like that length also, but he looped it through, and it lays flat then, and I thought that was kind of a nice way to do that. And what I really like too is this piece that it has a clasp right here, and it can open, and this is not smart to do one-handed, is it? But it comes on and off, and so you can layer it with other pieces. And of course, I think this looks good with other lockets. I like the keys better, so this would be the only lock that I would want, and it was a gift, so it was nice. But he just helped me give me some ideas on how to wear that. But that piece I think would look fun with the different keys or something like that. That's what I like about these, is that you can do so many things with them and wear them together a lot. And as I said before, going back to the chains, I think they look good. The different bracelets together look really good. And I wish I could provide models for you to show it better, but I'm not very creative on how to show you that. There's that toggle again, so let me go to a black onyx toggle. I love this. This is more dressy, and I wear this a lot. I love the toggle. I think from now on I would just go with the toggle more than the lobster claw, because it's so beautiful. And there's two different things you can do. I like just the Tiffany and Company that's written on there, but there's another one. I think it has a 1837 date. It's also beautiful. It's nice. I just have a personal preference for this. And I wanted you to be aware of the bead measurements, because this was a difficult decision too. If you ever get in the beads, and what I have to show you is a bracelet, these black onyx earrings, and then the bead, and I have the necklace and the bracelet and these earrings here, and I have two pairs of earrings, this size and this size. And I'm going to show you with the tape measurement. This is a smaller size. These run about $100, and if you can see there, it's not quite 10 millimeters, excuse me. So this size right here is 8 millimeter, and it's very small. It's a much more casual look. If you want to be noticed first before the earrings, this would be a good size, or for somebody young, this would be a good size. And it's hard to see, so I wanted to show you real quick. If they look different, it's because one got cleaned up a moment ago and the other one is lacking to be clean. I wanted to show you that you can get this little cardboard, and it says, as you can read, hopefully the silver polishing cloth. And I'm going to open that as I'm ripping it. Okay, now you see why I like the toggle, the coordination issues. Okay. And I believe any polishing cloth will do, but since it's a Tiffany jewelry and I'm not a jewelry expert, I stick with that. And I like this. One sort of gotten clean by this polishing cloth, but this other one I'm just going to lay in here and just show you that you can rub it. And I'm doing this one-handed, but the bead I'm able to get most of it rounded. You could see just a little dirt there from cleaning the other earring right before this video. So they will get dirty pretty quickly. You can already see the dirt. And I, in person, can certainly see that it's quite a bit shinier. And just doing that little bit makes it look brand new. It's wonderful. Of course, it's important when you're not using them to use a little pouch. And I like the little earring pouch because it has two different sides, the back, and then it has the front. So that's easy to work with. But so I got another pair of earrings. These are the 10 millimeter, and if you were to go with one, I truly recommend the 10 millimeter. It can be casual or dressy. You can just do a lot with them, and I actually wear them every day with everything. When I dress up or down, any of these pieces go with the beads. So if I had to get one pair, it would be this 10 millimeter beads because it goes well. I don't wear the necklace very often, but it is a very dressy piece. If I'm wearing black slacks and a black shirt, I'll put this on and it stands out, and I'm usually getting compliments on that, which is nice. But the bracelet is also the 10 millimeter, so they all match. And I find it impossible to put on with one hand. It needs to be just a little bit longer for me. I think it's a 7.5. I can get it around, but it just won't clasp on there. I can do it with any other bracelets at that length, but not this one. So I always have to fetch help to get that closed. So if you're wanting a piece you put on by yourself, I don't recommend this particular bracelet. I see I'm getting lengthy on this video here, so let me be quick. If you were only going to get one charm bracelet, I recommend this one. It is expensive, but it's very useful in that it has a clasp that you can add and close bracelets. It is beautiful all by itself, and so I might layer it with the other chainy bracelets or even my beaded bracelets. It looks pretty. I left on these other charms, but these are just various charms. Sometimes I'll just wear one charm, like if it's a thing for pine cones, sometimes I'll just wear that and it looks pretty. Otherwise I load up a bunch of different things, and it gives me variety. And there's some really beautiful Tiffany charms, but I don't have any of those, except I have put on the lock, and I actually tried one time a little 2-inch key, but it's dangles and I'm afraid it'll break. I don't recommend you doing that unless it's a much shorter one, but the lock does work well. And then what I wanted to lastly show you, oh, and I do have this little cross, and the reason I want to show you that is because if you're ever wanting a little cross or gift for somebody that's a cross, I think Tiffany has the most beautiful crosses. They are just mesmerizing. This is the Elsa Peretti cross, and it's not in focus, but it's really beautiful, and I love it the best on my little 16-inch chain, but it can obviously work on any length chain that you want it to go on. I showed you a little bit about the cleaning. I know you can do here's the box where the spray can come in, and that's just pretty messy and foamy, but you have to work pretty hard, but it will help. So if you've left a piece out and it's really tarnished, then you can use that. I don't live near Tiffany, so I have to rely on these other devices somewhat. Okay, I used to focus, I definitely say to keep them in your pouches, but at the same time, and I used to keep them in the boxes, but what happens is, as you can see over here, the boxes add up and it takes up a lot of room. And so what I'm going to now try is taking the boxes, I want to keep them, but I'm going to put them in another little container here. See? I'm going to put all my little boxes in this container and put them at the top of my closet so I'm going to have them out of the way. And then I'm going to put my little pieces back in the pouch. And then what I've done is when you get your box, you have a white ribbon that's tied around your box. And so what I've done is I've unraveled one of my ribbons, and I take a pen, and I started with the Sharpie pen, but I don't recommend it because it's really fat and it smears. But a thin pen, and this is the Forays, that works really well. But this thin Sharpie pen I've been using the most. And what I do is I write on this little white ribbon here, I write what it is, and then I fetch a little pin, a little safety pin, and then I hook it on to the pouch. And so here I've written like beaded bracelet, and I'll know to go in there. And like I can put my earrings over here and have it labeled, but you can kind of see like this is my black beaded onyx. It's not fancy, but it's helpful. And then once I have the pieces enclosed and pulled, cinched together, then I stick them all in a Tiffany bag, and the Tiffany bag looks great on my jewelry box, and I can pull it down. It doesn't take up any room at all. In fact, all these pieces fit nicely into this little smaller bag. It doesn't take up any room, and I can find it really easily. So that's a little tidbit on storing them. It really helps. If you ever lose the blue Tiffany pouch, just a little sealed plastic lined sack will work great. I hope this was helpful. Let me know, and I hope you all take care. Thanks.